Yo, what up, Mike? Check. Y'all already know. Welcome, welcome, welcome. See if my regular's gonna pop out today. All right, what's going on with you? If you watch the restream, shout out to you. Shout out to you guys who watched the restream. We are about to get started. Give me 1 second here. Trying to find a good music here, good song to rock to. All right, we'll start with that. So today is going to be a stream about, we're going to talk about the people who are, 87'd by the police. Right? I saw today that a verdict came down that the police who were involved with the passing of, what's his name? No, nigga get paid. Say Tyree Nichols. All right. The people who were involved with the murder of Tyree Nichols. On a state level, they're good to go. They were cleared. So that obviously is going to present a problem. All right. That is going to present a problem. Hold on, I need to upload this thumbnail. All right, which one we using this one? Okay. Get paid. All right, now we got the thumbnail up there. All right, good to go. So, what is going on? Oh, so there's this guy. Who got pulled over. And when he got pulled over, he wasn't fully uncooperative, but he was uncooperative. He didn't completely disobey their orders, but he didn't adhere to their orders. He was kind of playing a game with them. I'll show you what I mean. But along with that, it really reminds situation. What happened with Rodney King? Very similar. Traffic stop, speeding. And then, nature took its course with bigotry and racism. All right. So even though Rodney King was speeding, doing a $117 in a Hyundai XL. Let's just talk about that. He was speeding, doing 117 miles an hour in a Hyundai XL. All right, I just gotta look at this. So we got Mr. Rodney King, right? Rodney King was speeding in a car, specifically a 1987 Hyundai Excel. All right. And let's just look at what that fucking shit look like. Oh, this is the beatings. $1987. This is the shit he was speeding. Yo, I ain't know this shit could even go 100. This shit could go 100? Throwing a buck in the XL? It's crazy. So, all right, he was doing a buck. He was doing a buck in the Hyundai XL, right? He got pulled over. When Mr. Rodney King got pulled over, it don't even matter what happened after that. They just started putting boot to ass on this nigga. As Turtle say, in a real way, right? In a real way, they just started putting boot to ass. And this is what it looked like. I'm gonna show you what it looked like. Because why not? That's why we're here. We're here to see shit. All right. You clicked on the video to see some shit. So before we get into the Tyree Nichols, we're gonna go look at the identical incident of Rodney King. We don't need the volume. You can see it. So as you see, did you see that? This guy was about to crack him in the dome, and there's a dude right next to him that was like, yo, chill. Let's see. All right, now where's he at? Hitting him on the arm. Now, this guy right there. You see him? He's like, no. But this is the video that was caught that they had no idea was being captured. Right? Now, was this a robbery in the court system? Yes. Why? Because this is just a beating. This isn't, nobody's going in to effect an arrest. Nobody's going in to try to apply handcuffs. Nobody's going in to do anything. Everyone is just standing, watching or waiting to get their turn at a beating. See? Nobody's like, all right, let me, come over here with some handcuffs. No, this is just a beating. Okay? This is going to play a significant role in the next video that we're about to look at. Turn it over. He's done. He's submitted. He is ready to put his hands behind his back. Like this, it's done. But apparently it continues. Right? Savage beating. All right. Now, when we go to Mr. Tyree Nichols beating, right? I want to show you what I noticed. All right, this is Tyree Nichols beating. You want to blow it up? All right. This is the vehicle here. Let's go.
You gonna get your ass blown the fuck out.
Now, this is very important. So I need you to understand. You know, I'm retired law enforcement. I'm a veteran, was law enforcement in the Air Force, military police in the Air Force. Listen to me carefully. Depending on the type of officer you encounter, comply. Okay, you'll have some dudes who are just too hype. You'll have some dudes who aren't that hype, but you could talk to them, right? Just if you ever heard of the term baiting, BAITING, baiting. There was something called baiting that goes on in law enforcement. How do I know? Because I used to bait niggas. Yeah, I used to bait niggas. But I at this time I had worked in a jail. So the way you bait somebody is we know cameras are watching, right? You know cameras are watching, somebody's watching. So I can't just outright punch you in the face. That's assault, right? So if you're trying to bait somebody, you would do something to get them to bait you. This doesn't this is the psychological game of it, right? So the psychological game of it is something that I know is going to piss you off, I'm going to ask you to do. So when you don't do it, I have cause to do what I want to do. And in the process of me doing what I want to do, I already know you're going to resist. Hence, I baited you and I can inflict, physical damage on you. Right. So when you're in a situation like this, if you just, as my mama used to say back in the day, rob the devil, there's nothing that they could do. Get out and get on the ground. Okay, get out. I'm on the ground. Get on your stomach. Okay, I'm on my stomach. Put your hands behind your back. Okay, my hands are behind my back. It's really nothing else you could do. You have accomplished what the law says you need to accomplish, right? But see, the law is crazy. I want to show you some terminology when you see how people keep getting off. Okay, this right here. I'm going to put it up on a bigger screen for you. Hold on. This terminology right here is what you need to understand. Okay. Of course, I go to Tennessee because this is the incident that we're speaking of. All right. In Tennessee, law enforcement officers can use force that is reasonably necessary to make an arrest. Right? But deadly force can only be used if all reasonable means of apprehension have been exhausted. Stick with that for a second. Did you hear what they told the cops they could do? Deadly force is authorized after all other reasonable forces have been used. Listen to that. That ain't the cops. That is the state telling them after you giving them a verbal order, after you've done this, after you taking a step back to avoid altercations after you did everything. After you used your fucking uh your pepper spray, after you used your non-lethal options, after you used all that, and that nigga still ain't in the cuffs yet, you can use deadly force. That's what they telling. That's what they telling them. That's what it says right here. Right? Deadly force can only be used if all other reasonable means of apprehension have been exhausted. A warning has been given where feasible. Where feasible. It doesn't say a warning must be given. It doesn't say that, does it? What else? And the officer, what was that? What am I mean? Where feasible, and the officer has probable cause to believe the individual poses a threat of serious bodily injury or grave sexual abuse. The use of force must be reasonable to the proportion of the situation. Here's more detailed breakdown. Use of force. Okay, reasonably necessary. Officers can use force that is reasonably necessary to accomplish an arrest, including resisting or fleeing from an arrest. So now the state's telling them, officers, you could use reasonable force, the force necessary to accomplish an arrest. Now, what that really means is when that motherfucker say turn around, put your hands behind your back, they gave him authority to do whatever it takes to get you in them cuffs. That's what that's saying. You have authority to do whatever you need to do, sir or ma'am, to get that nigga in them cuffs. We just need you to understand that. So when you got the guy who goes to the academy and he reads his rules and regulations and he understands what he can and cannot do. This is what you get. Well, that was reasonably necessary. Okay. Continuum of force. Police use a continuum of force starting with verbal commands and moving to physical force, less lethal options, and potentially lethal force depending on the situation. There we go. So now they're telling the police that you can continue to use force, right? But you have to start with a verbal command, right? And moving to physical force, right? Less lethal options and potentially lethal force. So they're giving you grades. You start with the verbal. They don't comply with the verbal, then you get physical. You know, when they put their hands on you and you say, yo, don't touch me, don't put your hands on me. And then once you do this, now you're under arrest. Now the state gave them the power to get you in them cuffs by any means necessary. So now that we have that understanding and we go to this video, we're going to keep that in mind, right? We're going to run it back a little bit. Okay. All right. I kind of feel like, yeah. You know what? Let me slow it down a little bit because things are going so fast. Let's slow it down a little bit here. Slow it down there. What is this looking like? All right. You don't do that, okay? Get on the fucking ground. Now they're telling him to get on the ground, right? Now, when he's saying get on the ground, you probably know what he means. He means lay on my stomach so that they could put the cuffs on my back. But he didn't tell me that. He just said get on the ground. So I'm just going to get my ass on the ground. The only thing that's going to happen is, this is going to incite this motherfucker more. Okay. So what happens when he gets even more angry now? What's going to happen? Does he know how to control himself? Does your size intimidate him? Pause. You got to think about these things, right? Did you embarrass him in front of his female partner or some shit like that? You got to think about these things when you're dealing with a person that does this job, right? Get on the ground. Okay, now we see he's still not on the ground. See? Now he's not on the ground, but he keeps saying, all right. You playing with them. You playing with them. You have no wins. This is what you got to understand. In this situation, you have no wins, bro. You have no wins right now. I don't know, if he's trying to, I don't know if he's trying to have wins. I don't know if he's trying to show like he's still in control. The best way to control an angry cop or that's angry on rage or angry CO is to comply. You got to calm this nigga down. You got to calm him down. You got to learn to manipulate motherfuckers by the mind, right? When this is a life or death situation, ego should not be in it. You got to learn to manipulate this motherfucker. You can manipulate a motherfucker with a smile. Or, yo, man, did you see the Knicks last night? Something to throw this motherfucker off, because when they come in at you, they're honed in. They're like tunnel vision and on what their job is to do. All right, I gotta give him a ticket, or all right, he got a warrant. I gotta get him in the cuffs. He's thinking this shit's gonna go left. I know he's not gonna comply. Boom, 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 boom. So he might be up a little bit more. His testosterone is up. His anxiety is up. Yeah, his anxiety is up. His anxiety is up. So you gotta control that. Everything is gonna be based off of how you conduct your actions. You can literally control another human being with your actions. It's psychological with these niggas. But it's like two magnets, right? Two positives are gonna repel against each other. They're gonna bounce off. So you need a positive and a negative, right? Both of y'all can't be turned up because somebody's definitely gonna lose. Both can't be turned up. Now let's see where we at with this here. I'm on the ground. Now, see, this is him playing. I'm on the ground, but he's sitting on his ass. This is him playing. All right, I'm on the ground. Please stay on the ground. Now, so you can see it a little better. You see his feet right here. I mean, his legs right here. His legs right here. So he's sitting on his ass. He's sitting on his ass. See, this guy knows what he's doing. You know what he's doing, but you know what's fucked up? This shit right here says, what does it say? Police use a continuum of force starting with verbal commands and moving to physical force and less lethal options, potentially lethal force, depending on the situation. So now verbal commands aren't working, right? Can we agree on that? Are the verbal commands working? No, they're not. It's apparent. Are the physical commands working? Where we at? Verbal commands moving, physical force, excuse me. I stand corrected. Is the physical force working? Hold on, we got a comment. Pookie, motherfucker, hold on, I got some new shit. What up, Pookie? Woo! Yo, Pook, man. Trying to show these niggas how to stay alive, B. Trying to show them how to stay alive. They're not doing too well, man. Right? So I told him, I don't know if you were here, but I told him about baiting. How motherfuckers will bait you into a situation to get you to react so that they could have inflict the force on you that they want. Now, we are at showing where this dude is making his mistake. Because in this Tennessee, this is for Tennessee, down there at Continuum of Force, it says police use a continuum of force starting with the verbal command, moving to physical force. So the only thing that's left is the less lethal option and potential lethal force, right? There's only two things left. He's exhausted two lifelines, if you will. And if we were playing, they want to praise the bullshit. So he's got two left. He's used the verbal, he's used the physical force. Now he's moving to less lethal options. What was a less lethal option? That would be taser, that would be fucking chemical agent, right? So now that would even be the baton. You gotta be careful with the baton, though. That causes a lot of injury. If you hit somebody in the head, that's classified as deadly physical force. So you got to be careful with that. Right? So now we're at the physical. Now this cop, if you see it right here, it says tase you. He's telling him now that he's moving from the verbal, the physical force didn't work. So now he's going up the chain to tase. That's the less lethal option, right? So let's see what happens. Tase you! You're gonna get on the ground! Oh, this nigga, I see defiance in his motherfucking eyes. Oh, yeah. There's powerful niggardry at work here. I see defiance in the eyes of this nigga here. Oh, yeah. Now, I'm going to tell you this. To a guy that's baiting you and you turn around and look like this, and you see that nigga crack a smile, bro, you gave him what he wanted. Because there ain't nothing for you to see back there. You supposed to be turning around so you can put the cuffs on. Yeah, you see where this nigga at. Hold on, man. This is a good picture. Right? He turned around and looked at this nigga like, pussy ass nigga, who you talking to? That's how you looked at him. That's how you looking at him. You know? I don't even know if Rodney King looked at them niggas like that. I don't think they gave Rodney King a chance. You know that? I don't think they gave him a chance. Man, I think they just started whooping that nigga. Yeah, they just don't like. And you know what? Even if you don't respect authority, bro, you gotta know how to manipulate that shit, bro. You gotta know how to manipulate. It's not always about you don't have to, you don't gotta respect them niggas, but you gotta know how to work them. How to work them. You got a ratchet baby mama. You don't respect that bitch. You don't like her, but you know how to work that bitch, right? But you know how to work her. Maybe you in college. You don't like that fucking teacher, that professor. Bet you know how to work that motherfucker though, right? Get the grade. You can't stand that nigga. But you know what to do to get your grade. Same thing here. Same thing here. This is the worst thing. And honestly, I think these dudes were hyped up already. I think they were ready. They were ready. I think they were ready, B, to go there. And he turned around and looked at him like, nigga, who you fucking talking to? Who the fuck you think you talking to like that? I think that's what he was thinking, bro. So, in efforts to stay alive, and nigga say he gonna tase you, don't turn around like that. Don't turn around like that. Terminator, all my niggas is coming in. We got the motherfucking squad in here. We got Pookie Ray Ray. We got Terminator. Salute, bro. I used to smile and say yes, sir, to leave my brother. That's it. What? When I was in the military and boot camp, nigga, what you think I had to do? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I can't stand this motherfucker. But you know what? At this present moment, this motherfucker, he got all the cards, right? He got the ace of spade, he got the deuce, deuce of diamond, this thing. He got all that shit, bro. You know what? You got it right now. The niggas in the street, and nigga get caught out there. What he say? All right, you got it. I'll be back though. That's what they used to say in the 90s. You got it. I'll be back though. You got it. Yeah. You don't turn around like, oh, listen, man. Listen, man. Playing with your life. You're playing with your life. This nigga played with his life. All right. So now he told this nigga, I'ma tase you, and he turned around like this.
I know. What? Okay. Now. Stop. All right. Okay. All right.
Break your shit.
Okay, dude. Damn.
Turn the fuck around.
Now, did you know that resisting is doing anything other than what the motherfucker asked you to do? Did you know that? A lot of people think resisting is like, no, get off me, no. Oh, resisting is this. Put your hands behind your back. I ain't doing nothing. They grabbing on your arms, you tensing up your body and flexing. That's resisting. And when you resist, the state told them what? What did the state tell them? The state said, where's that? Officers can use force that is reasonably necessary to accomplish an arrest, including resisting or fleeing from arrest. So you could use force reasonably necessary when they're resisting or when they're fleeing. And when we go down to continuum, police use continuum of force, starting with verbal commands, moving to physical force, then moving to lethal options, and then potentially lethal force. So now he playing games on the floor. And these niggas is already at number 3. They already on number 3, which is the less lethal force. Right? Less lethal force is punches in the face, fucking anything goes, except, you know what I mean, baton strikes to the head or shit like that. Tasers, mace, batons, fists, all that's a go. All of that is a go. Just off of you saying, nah, fuck out of here, I ain't put my hands behind my back. Or just off of you just playing games like him right here. He playing games. Right? He playing a dangerous game right here. I feel like I need to make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Hold on. All right. So, and where is... There we go. Hold on. Where's my other damn screen at? Is that me? Okay, there I am. Right here. Is that good? All right, yeah, that's good. All right. I'll move my ass around. Move my ass over here. All right, so he's on the ground, right? Just for context. So he's on the ground. They got the taser right here on his leg. Okay, taser's on his leg. All right. The officer's got his hand on his back trying to turn him over. All right. But he's not turning over. Why? Because this leg, he's using this leg as leverage to not have to turn over. Right. So now he's still playing around and they are on a less lethal option right now.
Okay, stop. I'm gonna knock your ass the fuck out.
Now, as you see, he still did not turn fully over so that they could cuff him. He's got his leg right here. Right? All of this is on purpose. All of this is just being defiant, like, yeah, fuck you. Like you niggas can't really do nothing to me. It's just a traffic stop. You can't really fuck. Now, when you start fucking around and they decide to arrest you and you still playing games, the state done gave them these fucking rules, bro, where they could fuck you up bad, which is what happened. Which is why today what happened? Acquitted. Yeah, they good. They could go home. Why? Why can they go home? They beat a nigga so bad that he died 3 days later. Why is it that they get to go home? Because the state told them niggas, them 5 niggas, if you, where's it at? The state told them 5 motherfuckers, if this person, if you told them, if you gave him verbal commands, going down into the continuum of force. If you gave him verbal commands, he ain't listen, you can move up to physical force. If you move up to physical force, he still ain't listen, you can move up to less lethal options. If he moved up, if he still ain't listen after the less lethal options, you could potentially use lethal force just to get him in cuffs. Not even to stop and talk it out. Not even to stop and reset and be like, all right, bro, listen, bro. We really about to crack your shit. We don't want to. Can we just talk this out? What is it going to take for you to realize that you're wrong and you need to go to jail? What is it going to take? What needs to happen? If you can't talk to this motherfucker and the state said, yo, you could damn near kill him just to put them cuffs on him, y'all got to stop playing. I know everybody gets mad at the police. Yep, mad at the police. They did it. But who said they could do it? Who said that they could hit you with a baton or mace you or tase you or even shoot you? Who said that was okay? Well, whoever name is on the bottom of these documents that they get when they go to the academy and all of that shit, whoever name is signed off on that shit, that's who said they could do it. Okay? The amount of now listen to this. The amount of force used should be proportionate proportional to the resistance encountered. Now, I know you're like, yeah, but you know, if he's resisting, he can't so and so. Here's how they get out of that. The amount of force has to be proportionate to the resistance, right? Take a steel door. Think of a steel door. And you can't get in that motherfucker because it's steel. You punch the door, you kick the door, you take a fucking AK, a shotgun at the door's still not open. Somebody comes in with some Semtech and sticks it on the fucking door, explosives. And then they go out the building and blow the door, and then the shit opens. Was that excessive or was that proportionate to the resistance? It's not. They mean the will of that nigga. That's what it means. You could use the force proportionate to this nigga's will. How strong was Rodney King's will? You see why they get off? So when you encounter police, or if you locked up and you encounter the CO, you gotta do your own threat assessment. That's what niggas don't do. They don't do their own threat assessment. How big of a threat is this nigga to me? You do that with everybody else except the police. You gotta start looking at people as threats and how will you avoid, getting caught up. So this guy, hold on, let's check the Pookie positive motherfucking journey in the house. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all come in and let yourselves be known. Oh yeah, let it be known. That's what's up. All right. The power they have, it come from somewhere else. Come from a nigga with a pen. That nigga with the pen, with the suit and the tie, he go in the office, in the AC office and shit. They got a squad of niggas who write directives. They write directives, they write the fucking memos, they write all of that shit for these niggas to follow. And when they go to court and they break this shit down, and the lawyer says, Your Honor, if you look on page fucking 44 of their use of force document, it clearly states blase, blase, blah. They could do this, that, and the third. If that don't work, they could do this, that, and the fourth. And if that don't work, so they look at the shit and they say, yeah. Now, the reason why I would not have let all them Rodney King niggas go off is because nobody tried to effect an arrest. They weren't trying to effect an arrest. They were just beating a nigga. Nobody said, all right, nobody called out any commands. Nobody gave any orders. I didn't even see a pair of handcuffs in anybody's hand. Nah. Man, them niggas were supposed to say they were supposed to go down. They were supposed to go down. But these guys, nah, man, I think these niggas was good. I think they was good, Pop. Because hold on, that's how do I get that off the screen? All right, and this one here. All right. Because this guy, he playing around. They telling him, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. I'm gonna break your shit. This, that, and the third. This is the reason why they didn't get in trouble for it is because What number are they on? They're on number 3. Number 3 is the less lethal option. So he's telling them, listen, bro, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Turn the fuck around. And dude like, yeah, all right. So now let's go see let's see how this turned out. Are we frozen? All right, there we go. All right, let's go. Oh, wait, hold on. Comment. Positive J. Pookie Mayday. Straight from the Georgia O's Animal Farm state-sponsored terrorism. Yeah, it is. Oh, like whenever you see the downfall to having police. The bad part about police is that there's always somebody in charge of your life, your well-being, and your freedom, no matter where you roam in these United States. There's always somebody in charge of that, or that could take it away. Right? So that's the problem with it. That's why it would be great if people who went in those fields had a strong sense of morality, had heart, actually cared about people. That's why it's necessary. They don't give what is that word that I used? Like, I guess you could say morality tests. They don't give morality tests in the academies. Morality tests. You got your recruits or whatever, and somebody's going to the bathroom. You know, there's cameras in the hallway. You drop a $100 bill on the ground. You wait to see what recruit's going to walk past and pick it up and turn it in, or is he going to pick it up and pocket it? Like they don't do shit like that. Which they should. They really should. You need to know what type of people you're fucking hiring, right? Because when it comes to having this much control over every single person, you know, that's why we still have the Second Amendment that we're fighting for, the right to bear arms. Somebody is embarking on your freedom or trying to violate your civil rights, you're supposed to be able to shoot their ass. But that's going to come with a lot of repercussions. You might not make it to court, because what's going to happen when you shoot a cop? What's going to happen? 900 motherfuckers going to show up, and then what? They're going to draw down on you, right? Then what? You could walk backward towards them with your hands up, depending on who's there, depending on who it was you shot. You still might get shot. There's a dude, Patrick Ogote. He shot a judge after his divorce hearing. They say after he shot the judge in his driveway, he was on a run for 2 days. They say they found him in the woods dead. Yeah, how the hell can we verify that? How can you verify that? We ain't see the footage. Like, I want to see the footage of you walking up on this motherfucker and he already dead. You know? So it's all about being smart, bro. Right? So this guy here, it looks like they got one arm. Let's see.
Hey, you guys are really doing a lot right now.
Bro, lay down.
I'm just trying to go home.
Lay down.
Man, if you don't lay down, I am on the ground. Put your hands on your stomach. I got you.
Okay.
All right, so that right there looks like they were really pleading with this individual He even said he even took it to the bro code with him. He's like, bro, please just lay down, bro. Because he probably know where that shit was headed. He probably know where it was headed.
Really doing a lot right now.
Bro, lay down.
I'm just trying to go home.
Lay down.
Man, if you don't lay down, I am on the ground. Put your hands on your stomach. I got you.
Spray. Spray.
Okay.
Get the fuck back.
No, I'm not doing it.
All right, now they deployed the taser, so they utilized the less lethal options, two of them. They maced them and they tased them. All right.
Shit.
Now this motherfucker, now they gotta run again him. Definitely, boo. It is definitely chess with these motherfuckers. It is. Now they got him on a fucking fucking run.
I hope they stomp his ass.
Come on, get some more units over here. Creek.
I hope they stomp his ass. Smith is calling for other cars because him and Martin are chasing him.
Ross and Cascade Lane.
All right, so they caught up with the guy. It says where they proceed to beat him up and pepper spray him again. Now, in corrections, you can only pepper spray a nigga 3 times. They deem anything more than 3 as excessive. So let's say it's me and Pookie, right? Me and Pookie, we respond to an alarm and the guy's going off. He doesn't comply with our orders and we got to use chemical agents. So let's say I spray him one time and Pookie spray him one time. And the guy, he just wiped it off because that shit happened. Guy just wiped it off. He's still not complying with our orders of turning around, cuffing up. It's not. Now let's say, right, Positive Journey comes in and hits him with one. That's our 3. That's our 3 right there. Right? If Terminator come in, Terminator T come in, and he sprays this motherfucker, the 4th time, whether he knew if we sprayed or not, we all going down, bro. That's just how DOC play. If I said you can only spray this nigga 3 times, you can only spray him 3 times. I don't give a fuck. And that's how they cooperate. So, but the police, I don't think they have that. I think they could spray a nigga as much cans as they fucking want. So now they say they beating his ass. Let's see.
Shut the fuck up. See you wipe you. Hey.
Give me a hand. Give me a hand.
You about to get sprayed again.
All right. So he's still not complying. And the worst part about this is now you got to comply with spray in your eye. Now you're out of breath. You see, now you're out of breath because you were running. Right here. Now you breathing heavy, so you got to suck in this fucking pepper spray, and it's affecting all your mucous membranes. You go crying and you're snotting, and you out of breath. Now your lungs are getting hot because you're breathing this shit in. So now you got to put your hands behind your back with all that going on. Oh. Then the nigga talking about you gonna spray you again. Like, bro, what is wrong with you, bro? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey. Hey, Mike.
He's still not. He's still. Yo, this nigga's still not turning around, bro.
Watch out!
Look at bro. None of this shit will be going. None of this will be going on if you just turn the fuck over, bro, and put your hands behind your back. Now he about to get sprayed. His mouth is wide open, bro. It's just like yeah. Those COs, Ohio used to empty the canisters. Oh shit, yo. We used to have some shit called a MK9. I think they said you can only spray a nigga with that twice. I know. I'm this poor dude, man. Right, this poor dude. He when he came down to the fucking intake to the receiver room, this nigga's whole body was orange. So I said, yo, what the fuck? How the fuck you orange, bro? He said, yo, ESU, they came in my cell and the nigga just sprayed me. And he kept spraying me. And he kept spraying me. I said, damn. I know that shit wasn't you can't do that. He painted this nigga. Like, yo, he painted this. I said, man. I said, yo, did you listen to him? He said, yo, he gave me one order. I just woke up. Like, I didn't know what's going on. He gave me one order. And I was like, huh? And a nigga just kept spraying me. I said, damn. Oh, man. Damn, Chief. I'm like, that motherfucker, man, we let that nigga take a shower. All that shit. That motherfucker was on fire, bro. Orange? Yeah, but this dude right here, man, he like you outside. You don't play with like you don't play with niggas in the street, bro. You take like I be looking at these dudes playing with these cops, bro. I'm like, this nigga got a gun on his hip, bro. He got a gun on his hip. What if he's really having a bad day? Okay, you're having a bad day. But what happens if a cop has a bad day? It's like if a doctor has a bad day and he's trying to save somebody's life and he just cuts some shit. You say, fuck it. Niggas get sewn up with gauze pads and fucking towels in them and shit. Like when certain people have a bad day, it's bad for everybody. So for you to let this nigga here get you in this position, all he got to do is just turn the fuck over, bro.
Hey, bro.
Watch out!
Mom!
Yo. This nigga still ain't turn over, bro. What's good with this guy?
Mom!
This nigga yelling for his mama.
Mom!
Hey,
I'm sexy, give me a motherfucking hands.
Oh, here come you see the baton come out. Here go the fucking baton. Yo, I ain't got no shotgun or nothing up on this motherfucker.
Police! Police! Help! Police! Help!
Nigga done pulled the baton out. You see it? You see the fucking baton right here in the shadow? He done pulled the baton out. You playing. You got to stop playing.
Hey, I'm sexy, give me a motherfucking hands.
watch out!
He said, watch
Pop
out.
the fuck out you! He the
See?
fucking is! Watch out!
You see? You see? Yo. It's over. You don't want them hits. That's an all metal fucking baton. And the tip is a metal ball, bro. This nigga's crazy. This nigga's crazy. He said, watch out. Bro, look at this.
Get the fuck out you. He the fucking hands. Watch out. What the? Give it hands. Give it your hands.
Oh. Oh, you see him hitting him with the motherfucking shit. Now, here we go. As multiple officers restrained Nichols, who did not appear to be resisting or presenting any threat. That's a false quote. Because according to the state of Tennessee, who gave the motherfuckers power, that's not what they said. That's not what they said. What did the state of Tennessee say? Where is that? The state of Tennessee said continuum use of force. Police use a continuum use of force starting with a verbal command, moving the physical force, then less lethal options, and potentially lethal force. That's what the state of Tennessee said. They said the amount of force used should be proportional to the resistance encountered. So if the resistance encountered is great, the amount of force is going to be great, Pop. All right? So they're telling people these, which is fucking with their emotions, and not their logic. So that's why these 5 motherfuckers got off. So now we watch that one, right? We watch these guys attempt to effect an arrest, right? By way of what? Applying handcuffs, telling him to turn the fuck over multiple times, right? Now, when we look at Rodney King, Rodney King was never offered such fucking chance. Mr. King was just beat. Now, as long as Rodney King was just laying still on that ground, nobody came over to put cuffs on him. I saw somebody step on his fucking head, and then they started beating him again. Oh, god damn, that's hard to watch, B. Oh, that's hard to watch, B. Oh man, that's fucked up. All right, like biggest violated. That was a violation, bro. LA, shout out to LA. Shout out to LA, y'all. Y'all did the right thing, man. like that shit was just bananas, man. Like sometimes you gotta show out, B. And that was one of them times.
It was one of the most publicized trials in U.S. history. Many believed that the videotape was more than enough evidence to convict the 4 Los Angeles police officers, but the all-white jury saw it another way.
We would like to say that this experience has been an extremely difficult and stressful one which we have all agonized over a great deal.
Almost everyone has heard about or seen the videotaped beating of California motorist Rodney King. Chattanooga and Maryland Ashford was shocked by the verdict.
It's just unnecessary beating. To me, it was just unnecessary. And I'm surprised they let him go. Oh, I am surprised.
Chris Hunt was also surprised, but he says he trusts the jury.
If the jury found him not guilty, I think they know more than what I know. Based on what I saw, they appeared to be guilty, but apparently the jury found out something more.
Charles Cox wonders why Rodney King didn't take the stand.
Say he on that K too. Pookie say. At that point, dude, terrified, adrenaline fueled. Yep. Fight or flight syndrome. The timing of this, along with the Cincinnati incident, reeks of sorrows. Whoa. Democratic Party to inflame racial violence. Yo, I'm like, I gotta get off of Twitter. Twitter is like a fucking, oh my God, bro. Twitter is so bad right now. Twitter is so bad right now. Like the fucking racist shit on there right now, bro. Motherfuckers really have no life. They are on Twitter making false posts, digging up old shit, changing the dates on them. Shit crazy, man. This is wild.
And in the trial.
If they'd have put King on the stand and he'd have told his side of it, I might have changed my mind. But I had a feeling that if he didn't take the stand to tell what he was doing and what he had done and what his record was, just being out of prison a few days, that there was something more to it than what we seen on that tape.
But some folks say the acquittal makes police think they are above the law.
When they do something, it seems like it's okay, you know, with the law. As long as they got on their blue uniform, it's okay.
City Councilman Yusef Hakeem worries that the decision will drive yet another wedge between the police and the black community.
And if we're to move forward together as a community, as a nation, we have to do those things that bring about fairness and justice. And I do not believe this decision is one that brings us together.
Kimberly Blake, News Center 12.
Man, that shit was going nuts, B. LA said, oh yeah. LA said, that's your word? All right.
With the 30th anniversary this week of the 1992 LA riots, Fox 11 is taking a look back at the seeds of unrest even before the beating of Rodney King. There's a name that is also synonymous with that uprising. That's Latasha Harlins. Our Christine Devine has her story.
To understand the LA riots of 1992 is to know its backstory.
I just want to say, you know, can we all get along? Can we get along?
Video of the 1991 beating of Rodney King by LAPD officers is infamous. But 2 weeks after this, there was a case that would also shake South Central LA to its core.
It was like Emmett Till. Everybody just ready to go to war. Everybody ready to fight.
Latasha Harlins was 15 when she was shot and killed by a liquor store owner, a Korean immigrant who accused the teen of trying to steal a bottle of orange juice.
We grew up together. We were only 4 months apart. So we grew up together in the same house all the way from birth till the day she passed away. So it's my sister.
Shanice Harlins Kilgore is Latasha's younger cousin.
You lived how far from this market?
Oh, roughly a half a block away.
And it's normal to come here?
Normal.
But back in 1991 on Figueroa and 91st, it was Empire Liquor.
I can still see her right there where she dropped that in the front of the camera, you know, from the video. So, no, I don't go in there.
Security video captured a scuffle between clerk and customer. Sunjadu shot the teen in the back of the head, killing.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait. We got to rewind this back here. Who threw a punch here?
Camera, you know, from the video. So, no, I don't go in there.
Security video captured a scuffle between clerk and customer. Sunjadu shot the teen in the back of the head, killing her. Witnesses said Harlins.
Damn, she threw a punch like a nigga. That was her.
Sunjadu. Security video captured a scuffle between clerk and customer. Sunjadu.
Here we go.
Shot the teen in the back of the head, killing her. Witnesses said Harlins had cash in her hand.
To die with $2 in your hand, that lets you know that she was not that person that the.
I hear you. But explain this. What's up with this punch?
From the video. So, no, I don't go in there.
Security video captured a scuffle between clerk and customer. Sunjadu shot the teen in the back of the head, killing her. Witnesses said Harlins had cash in her hand.
So what the fuck is going on here, bro? How the fuck you got cash in your hand? Cash in her hand, throwing a punch, getting shot in the back of the head. How did all of those, what the fuck is going on? You know, this also goes, I gotta say this, man. You got your kids, B. They your kids, you love them. Well, how are they to us? How are your kids to us, to the rest of the population? Right? I'm not talking about this this girl. This is the first time I'm ever hearing about her story. But how do your kids treat people in society? Are they violent? Do they intimidate? Do they bully? Do they do foul shit to people in society? Because there's definitely cases where there are two people. The kid that the parent knows, and then the kid that everybody else know. So now I'm going to talk about her. I would love for them to break down how the hell she was about to pay for the orange juice, but ends up throwing punches and getting fucking shot. Yo, we know Keisha will swing on your ass. Yo, I got some Keisha shit for you niggas, bro. Oh, I got some Keisha shit for y'all. Oh, let's get through this shit. Let's push through. I got some Keisha shit for y'all.
To die with $2 in your hand, that lets you know that she was not that person that the media or whomever say so is what she is.
Du was convicted of voluntary manslaughter, but given probation. Then came April 29th, 1992. The not guilty verdicts in the beating of Rodney King. 4 LAPD officers acquitted. Rioters took to the streets. And after years of cultural tensions, half the businesses burned or looted. 2,000 of them were Korean-owned.
This 15-year-old child.
Did they say 2,000 of them were Korean owned?
Who got her brains shot and blown out over a dispute over a bottle of orange juice was the precursor to the civil unrest in '92. after the jurors found the LAPD cops not guilty for beating Rodney King.
That was activist Najee Ali.
I'm gonna tell you, boy, that nigga Rodney King, that's how you know niggas was built different back in the day. Niggas was built different, B. For that nigga to take all of that, bro, pause, and not die, niggas can't take that shit today. Nigga, you hit a motherfucker with a riot baton 115 times, see what happened.
Last year.
We will never forget Latasha Harlins.
It was at a playground dedication and a mural of Latasha Harlins at Algin Sutton Recreation Center.
It's really.
Can anybody explain the punch, bro? Why did she punch the fuck it, bro. I don't even care. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. All right. So today they went into court. All right. They were talking to these motherfuckers. They talked to the jury. And the jury said, yeah, the motherfuckers is not guilty, Pop. Let them go. And this is where we at. The fuck? Yo, I gotta get a new laptop. This shit right here, trash, bro. The fuck is going on? All right, well, yeah, they said not guilty mad times, and them niggas got off. All right. They had 7 charges apiece. All 7 of them got off. Right. This is another one I want to show you right here. If we can remember back. Let me put it on this screen.
CBS News has learned that Attorney General William Barr made the ultimate call to not bring federal charges today against a white New York City police officer in the chokehold death of Eric Garner, a man whose last words were, "I can't breathe." Jeff Begay's tonight on Barr's decision and the anguish it's causing his family.
But he was killed on the streets!
Moments after hearing the decision, Eric Garner's daughter stormed out of the federal courthouse.
Federal cops don't want to prosecute. Nobody wants to help. Nobody accountable.
5 years ago tomorrow, NYPD police officers confronted Eric Garner over allegations he was illegally selling cigarettes in Staten Island. The arrest was captured by a...
Now, that right there. We already know, right, what that means. When the niggas say, "Don't touch me," does that come after you were ordered to put your hands behind your back? You know what I'm saying? I think this was a real bad way for this gentleman to go out over some fucking cigarettes. You know, it's a loss of life over the guy selling some cigarettes, bro. You know, but you got to know how to play this game when you encounter these people, because who gives them laws? Who gives them the right? Who gives them the jurisdiction? Who gives them the authority to do that.
Selling cigarettes in Staten Island. The arrest was
Now, when you look at the size difference, right, they're going to go up. They're going to go up on their threat level. They're going to go up. They're going to use their very own threat assessment, and they're going to say, this guy is fucking huge. We're two little guys. If he gets his hands around one of our throat, or if he punches one of us, he might do some significant damage, right? So now they're hyped up, okay? This reminds me, because if he wanted to, real shit, if he wanted to, he could have shook them niggas off, bro. If he wanted to, he could have got that nigga off his back and pushed that nigga through that window, bro. He was that big and strong, bro. If he wanted to. But he tried to show that he was a threat. And that ended up being his demise. He should have just left or put his hands behind his back and asked him to give him 2 cuffs, because one ain't going to work. But yeah, this was a sad case, man. This was a sad case. They were all sad, but
captured by a cell phone camera. Within seconds, Officer Daniel Pantaleo had wrapped his arms around Garner's neck. Garner's cries of "I can't breathe" 11 times are among the last words he spoke before his death. Today, federal prosecutors said the videotape alone was not enough to prove the officers had committed a federal crime.
And the evidence here does not support charging police officer Daniel Pantaleo or any other officer.
Why? Why? Why not? Because in that fucking use of force directive, the powers that be told them cops, listen, verbal commands, physical, what's that shit called? Physical what? Physical something, and less lethal options. If he fucking died on a physical contact, that ain't got nothing to do with you. They didn't strike him. They didn't use baton. They didn't use pepper spray. They used physical force to hold him down and put the cuffs on him. And according to their fucking rules, they're allowed to do that. That's why they got off. When you encounter the police, it should be your biggest, safety should be your biggest priority. Which means you need to, it's your life. So you need to manipulate this nigga's feelings. You need to manipulate this nigga's, how he conducts himself. And that boils down to you doing things. Manipulation, you find out what a person needs or what a person wants, and you either give it to them or you take it away. That's how you manipulate somebody. And in this situation, this was a big deal too. Even in the jails, they changed the dog pile on the rabbit shit, bro. Even in the jails, they say, yo, turn that nigga on his side. After you apply the cuffs, turn them on their side. That shit trickled out to a lot of things, a lot of places. Because they, listen, we don't want to get hit with that. You know, you fucking, you're on this guy's back and his lungs can't expand to bring in air, and then he fucking dies, bro. You don't want to be responsible for that. Now, that's why they got off. Because of the directive, right? But what do you have? In all of his efforts, right? His death, right? What do people use from him when they're trying not to comply and things like that. They say, "Oh, I can't breathe," and they can breathe just fine. They're just being dicks. That is actual direct disrespect to this dude, B, because he was the one who started that shit. And this is a really, oh man, this is a hard one to this nigga really couldn't breathe, bro. Really couldn't breathe. He got his body weight, and then you got other motherfuckers leaning on you, bro. It's shit's fucked up.
Garner's cries of "I can't breathe" 11 times are among the last words he spoke before his death. Today, federal prosecutors said the videotape alone was not enough to prove the officers had committed a federal crime.
And the evidence here does not support charging police officer Daniel Pantaleo or any other officer with a federal criminal civil rights violation.
Garner's mother, Gwen Carr, has called for the officers to be held accountable.
This is an outrage, an insult to injury. You killed my son, and you won't get away with it.
Jeff Pegues joins us now. So why did the Attorney General have to make this decision?
Well, we learned today that the Civil Rights Division within DOJ wanted to bring charges in this case, but the Eastern District of New York did not. And ultimately, AG Barr, after watching the videotape multiple times, sided with EDNY. Nora, it is important to note that there is a separate NYPD internal investigation into Officer Pantaleo's actions. Commissioner James O'Neill will decide if the officer should be fired, likely by the end of next month.
Jeff Pegues, thank you.
Hold on, let's see this real quick.
What's the age limit?
Age limit?
As far as youth to older?
Go ahead.
I'd say 25 to like probably like 70.
I can't have sex with an old wrinkly people. I'm so scared. That's my only thing.
Mrs. That Joy Taylor bitch, boy. That Joy Taylor bitch. She said she'll fuck with a nigga 70 years old. Fucking prostitute, man. These bitches is trash. Trash. All right, was that it? No, there's more. Okay. So we did Rodney King, Tyree Nichols, Eric Garner. There was one more. Robert Brooks. Robert Brooks was a upstate inmate who was captured on video on body cam being assaulted to death on body cam. And prison guard who helped beat cuffed New York inmate to death pleads guilty to manslaughter. Let's see here. Walrath 36, one of the 6 guards charged with second-degree murder. December 9th, Robert Brooks at Marcy Correctional Facility pleaded guilty. Walrath to get the plea deal, which was first agreed by one of the 6 who were charged with murder, calls for Walrath to get a 15-year prison term. He will remain free on bail pending his August 4th sentencing. So these guys didn't get away. And why didn't they get away? Because the convict was already cuffed. He was already cuffed. If he was non-compliant, there were other things you could have did. You're on scene kicking and punching him in his fucking balls and all kinds of other things, bro. They all deserve, life, bro. You fucked up. You cashed out of life early. You were doing good. You had a good job. Probably had a family. Going to work every day. You were doing good, and then you just fucked your life up. You cashed out. You crapped out. It's over. All right. There we go. That shit was crazy. All right. What is this? Okay, that's that boy who got his chain snatched. Oh. All right, yeah. All right. So there is a guy who had a situation. All right. We're gonna talk about a situation here. Okay. It's a crazy situation. So we're, you know what? Damn, I feel like I should end this and start it. Yeah. I'm gonna end this and I'm gonna start a new one because people are coming to see what the topic and they'll be seeing something else. So we're done with this one here. I'm about to start up a new one. But before I go, I want to show you what we're going to be looking at. Okay. This guy went with his girl to some swinger shit. He went with his shorty to some swinger shit, and he ended up in a situation where it was a dude with a humongous cock. And we're going to talk about it in the next video. Give me about 15 minutes to start up the next one. All right, salute to everybody. You know, I always got to salute everybody that pull up in the chat. That lets me know that they there. Shout out to Positive Journey, Pookie, Ray, Terminator T. Who else we had up here? That's it. You know, everybody, y'all can talk, man. Don't be afraid to speak and shit like that. All right, I'm out. Give me like